Has it ever happened with you that an incident in your life has made you think and feel in such a manner that you decide to do something totally new and different, not knowing what the consequences would be? But you started the journey with faith. With a vision in his heart that nobody should die waiting for blood, the founder of Simply Blood, Kiran Verma, has embarked on a journey which is not just eye opening, but it makes you feel that being a human being, what all things you can actually do for humanity. And it is never too much. He's a social entrepreneur, proud husband and father. And right now, he's actually walking 21,000 kilometers across India to help spread the awareness about blood donation, to intensify lives, to save lives so that nobody should die waiting for blood. Let's hear from him more about this journey and how we can be a part of it as well. Welcome, Kiran, to Intensify Life podcast. And I am so honored and so grateful that, I'm able to spend this time with you. So thank you for coming to our podcast today.
Honor is all mine. Thank you so much for inviting me for this wonderful session, especially at this time.
Oh, yeah. This is interesting. So, Kiran, let me just first, begin by asking the most burning question, that the reason why we are meeting today and the reason how I came to know you is this thing that is written on your t-shirt, right? Walking 21,000 kilometers. What does it mean? What is it? And how did it start? Please go ahead.
So it's a very long question, I would say. But yes, the trigger happened in during 2011 plasma crisis. That was a time when I saw so many people making lousy excuses for not donating blood and plasma. And it was one fine day when lockdown was removed, and I was driving out of my society, and I saw the same people who made excuses were standing right outside wine shop, making miles long queue, and that was very triggering thing for me because they are the same people who are making excuses for not saving someone's life, but here they are compromising their own life just for some thing. And I realized that it's not a systematical problem, it's not a government problem, it's an attitude problem in our all of us. And I think
Yeah.
so we can so I think we can start from the beginning because it won't give you continuity and all.
No, it will. So you can share from the aspect of you saw them standing in the line. That is a place. Yeah.
So when I was going out of my society, then I saw a huge line out of the wine shop, and there were miles long queue outside that wine shop, and there were so many people who made excuses few days ago for not donating blood. They were the same people who are now standing compromising their own life outside a wine shop. And imagine that was the time when I realized that this is not a systematic problem or government. We cannot blame government and administration and bureaucracy all the time, because in terms of blood donation, if you talk about, it's always about we are the problem and we are the solution, because blood banks and hospitals are useless without blood donors. And that is when I thought that if I'm going to talk and walk all across India to spread my message, to donate blood and save life. That's it.
And that's when the Simply Blood started.
No, actually, Simply Blood started in 2017, and there was a tragic story behind it. So let me just give you the whole background of it.
Yes.
So I was 7 year old when, yeah, I was 7 year old when my mother passed away because of cancer, and I was too young to understand that what is the meaning of death and how what this cancer mean and what is going to happen. But I knew deep down inside that, I have lost something in terms of my mother. And there was a huge vacuum in my life because of her absence ever after. Even till date, I still feel, her a lot. And then that was a time when I, realized that what is the importance of someone in our life. And after, I think after 13, 14 years, I was just 18 that time. I was trying to do a diploma, which I couldn't complete ever. I'm just a school dropout. I'm a 10th pass guy. So I was trying to do a diploma at that time. And that was the time when I got to know about one of my teachers. He was dealing with some kidney problem or something. And he used to go to some dialysis sessions for a hospital. And he was not coming to coming to classes since last one week or so. And I got to know that there was nobody to give him blood, and his health is not keeping up well. So that was the time I thought that I should go out and donate blood to him. After all, I'm going to fail at any cost. Maybe he might get impressed by donating blood, and maybe he might give me some internal marks and I get passed. Um, और हो सकता है शायद दो चार टीचर और खुश हो जाए and then they also give me some brownie points out of that. So that was the intention. No saving life or no nothing. There was no charity or selfless kind of act. It was 100% Shuddha Desi selfish act. So, with that intention, I went to donate blood. And when I was coming out of that blood bank, and I saw his son, and his son only said one thing, nothing else, thank you. And that was the time I realized that my father might have gone through the same pain in finding blood donors, because I'm talking about 1992 and it was 2004. So, you know, 12 years ago, the situation was even worse. And that was the time, I realized that I had mistakenly or unknowingly done something good. I couldn't pass that diploma, but that diploma gave me purpose for whole life, to donate blood till the time I'm healthy. And since then, I started donating blood every 3 months. So that was happening, and it was 2016, 26 December 2016. And I was getting ready for my office, and all of a sudden I got a call saying that there is a poor family from Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Can you come down and donate blood, or maybe you can help someone? Because I was connected to so many WhatsApp groups, so I had no clue from where this person got my number. But since I was supposed to donate blood on very next day because it was my birthday, 27 December, so I thought that let's go today and then donate blood. So I went to the hospital, donated blood, and after donating blood, there is some waiting time. So you have to sit for a while and go. Meanwhile, that person came up to me and then took that donor card from me to get the blood for the patient. And just because I have taken half day leave from my office, so out of curiosity, I thought that let's go meet and greet with the family, patient and his family. And I went there. I greeted, बहन जी नमस्ते, मैंने आपके पति के लिए ब्लड दिया and this and that. And she said, भैया आप यहाँ क्यों आए हो? हमने तो पैसे दे दिए. What kind of पैसे? So she said that जिन भैया ने आपको कॉल किया था, he took money from me, said that I'm going to arrange a blood donor for you. In return, you have to pay me the money. I said, what? I went out to call that person again. I called him 2, 3 times, many times. And after a while, he switched off his phone. I realized that, I've been cheated. And that's when I went to make a formal complaint to the administration. And to my surprise, it was useless. Reason, because even if I identify the person, even if I file a formal complaint, I cannot do anything. We cannot catch hold of that person. Reason, because the person who donated blood, यानी कि मैं, I donated blood for a very particular person, and that person got blood in place of my own blood. And the money was taken in cash. It was there was no proof at all. So technically, I found myself in a situation where I was feeling like a fool. Then I thought that, let's not create an image in front of that lady that, I have taken money against, the blood I donated for free. So that's why I went back to that ward again. But she was not there, and there was a Bengali lady. And she told me that, she has gone downstairs with her husband for some tests and all. We will sit and wait for her for a while. I was waiting, and then uh, during this conversation, I got to know that the lady who paid for my blood, she got into prostitution. And that was a shocking part, because what happened, this lady who paid for my blood, she went out to the parents of that her husband, I mean in-laws of that lady. So she went to them, and they said that our kid is going to die soon. Why should we take burden? And when she reached out to her own parents, and they told her that, we have married you, and now you are no more our responsibility. And that's how she sold everything, whatever she had in Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and she came to Delhi. When she went out of money, that was the only way out to, pay medical bills. And that was the time which triggered me. And in fact, it took me hours just to absorb that what I have heard, because for me it was very shocking, and I can't even imagine that what exactly I've heard, or what. So without even meeting that lady, I just kept some money under the pillow, and I came out, and I had tears in my eyes, and I was driving back. And all of a sudden, I parked my car on a highway, and then I just called my wife. If you know Noida and Great Noida and Noida, so there is a expressway, D&D and all. So I parked my car on that, and I called my wife, and I said that, this is what happened with me, and I don't know how to digest it, or what to do, or how to deal with it. And she just said one thing, that, if you can solve a problem, then go out and solve it. Don't crib about it. And if you don't have any solution for that, your tears are not going to solve anything. So rather than sitting and so I said that, if I wanted to go out and then solve something, and what should I do? And she said that you don't have to do anything. You just focus on this problem 100% and work on it. And I said that then in that case, I have to leave my job. She said, why don't you leave your job rather than living in guilt, or something? Why don't you go out and then, give your 100% for the cause? At least you won't have any if and but in your life. And I said that how we are going to manage our funds and everything. So she said, we both come from a poor background. So we know the art of living in poverty or something like that. So that was the time when I gave up my job the very same day. And after 2 days, I got my full and final check. And just after 1 month, I think 29th January, we launched Simply Blood as world's first virtual blood donation platform. And it is just like Uber. I mean, you just need to register as a blood donor on the platform, and whosoever around you needs blood, they can just raise a blood request, and if you get a notification, you can accept or reject it. And if you accept the blood request, the moment you accept it, your contact details are going to be shared with them, and their contact details are going to be shared with you, and then that's how you can make it happen. So when this Simply Blood started, it was very difficult for me to manage. Reason because I was living a very luxury life. I was, going out every weekend and partying and enjoying your life. So that was whole metro kind of lifestyle. I was just trying to live, but all of a sudden all got stopped, and because of that, I started. having some sort of depression, anxiety, or I don't know what kind of experience I was. I don't know the kind of feeling I was going through that time. And it was 12th June 2017, almost 6 months after I left my job. And then, so I got to know about one boy, Mayank. I donated blood to him. And that was the time when I was expecting our first kid. And I was also planning to go back to my job, even because I, I think I had not enough courage to pursue it anymore. So that was the time I वो Indian mindset होता है ना जल्दी quit करने का. So I was just into that phase. So I was just about to quit, and I donated blood to Mayank, and I was ready to join my past employer, and things were in place, and I was supposed to join on a particular day. And then his father called me after 2 months that, Kiran, can you send me those pictures you took on that day? Mayank. Mayank was a very promising guy, very promising. And coming from such a small town and having such a caliber and confidence in his voice, and I got actually very impressed with him on that day. Of course, I couldn't get time, or I would say I almost forgot about him. But yes, I got really impressed on that day. So after 2 months, when his father called me, then I asked what happened, why you are asking his pictures after so long. So he said that, Mayank is no more. And last month he died. He was almost 14, 15 years old, and dealing with cancer and all. And imagine, he was at AIMS, India's biggest hospital, in the capital of India, 1.3 billion people, in the country of 1.3 billion, state capital, I mean, central capital of that country. And I realized, how can a young guy, promising guy, can die like this, waiting for platelet in front of his father, bleeding from his eyes, nose, and ears, kind of thing. So that was very painful for me because I was about to become a father, and it was very difficult for me to digest that how can someone die just because of lack of awareness among people like me? And I decided that this is not going to be the fate of my own kids. And why should only my kid, but any kid for the matter? I decided that, this is not going to happen with any kid in India, because India needed only 15 million unit of blood at that moment of time, out of which 10 to 11 million units of blood was already being collected. So imagine, we were not able to figure out, encourage 4 to 5 million people. And that was the time, 2017, when TikTok was coming up, and every day they were adding millions of people, which triggered me a lot that one Chinese app coming to India, making, of course, I won't say that useless video, but of course, meaningless videos, which is attracting millions of youth. If that can happen, then why can't we create a new pool of 3 to 4 million new blood donors in India, which is less than 1% of what TikTok did in 4 years? And that's when I decided that I'm going to walk and talk. So on 11th January 2018, my son was born, and it was 22nd Jan when, and uh, she delivered our baby through C-section. And imagine, after 11 days, exactly 11 days after her surgery, she took our son, all the luggage, through the train, all alone, without any company, to her place at Roorkee, just to make sure that I walk across India. And I was such a foolish person. I was such an idiot at that moment of time, that I had an opportunity, I had a calling, I had a reason in front of me. But I immediately, uh, in just 6 months, I quit from that walk, and I came back as a loser. And that guilt kept me so disturbed for next 4 5 years. that I was not able to figure out that how to cope up that guilt. And luckily, this 2021 crisis happened. I would say luckily, because that was in my personal scenario. If you talk about, that was a trigger point which gave me another opportunity. When my wife saw me crying, when I saw the people, struggling for blood and plasma, I saw millionaires and billionaires begging for 1 unit of plasma. That is when I realized that this is something which is meant for me as my life's goal, and that's how I landed up or ended up walking all across India. And so far, I've been walking since last 1.5 years, and I'm in front of you.
Oh, I am speechless. I mean, what an experience you had. And most importantly, I should actually, we should all be grateful to your wife as well, because I think she has started that sacrifice, and it just created a ripple effect. And if she wouldn't have encouraged you, or she wouldn't have done the things that she has done, you wouldn't have been, we wouldn't have been talking today, if I'm not wrong. So a lot, like, hats off to her as well, what she did at that time and what she's doing now as well. So what's your wife's name, by the way?
Jayati.
Jayati. So great. Look, like, thank you, Jayati, for that. And yeah, how old is your kid now?
5 years old.
Okay, that's amazing. Like, he's growing fast. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, how proud he's going to be, like, once he understands all these things, what you and, his mother is doing. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
No, actually, I just wanted to add one thing. So, if I talk about my wife, so one of my very big influencer friend, I don't want to name him, he's one of the biggest influencers in India, and he said one very beautiful thing about this journey, that I am doing uh, job from below the neck, the physical thing, and she is doing the main thing above the neck, the brain kind of thing. And she is the one who's actually dealing with all the problems, managing my family, managing everything, and giving me hope every day that yes, one day you are going to make it. This is something very good. And yesterday, my son and my wife left me. They came to Kolkata just to meet me during this walk after many months. So my son said that, Dad, Papa, I'm not going to quit because I am just like you, and I'm not going to let my mother cry. So this is something very, very touchy for me, especially because my son is very talkative, just like me, and he's very expressive. I mean, both of us, me and my son, we are very emotional and very expressive. So both of us express a lot. So that's the way we both of us are. And my wife is taking care of both the kids. So that's all.
Hats off to her, no doubt, hands down. And he's so cute. I mean, as rightly mentioned, right? Children pick up values. So we know, like, what he's going to be. So kudos to you and your entire family for doing this, not for yourself, but you are actually doing it for all the other people whom you don't even know. So I think there's no word to describe from my end, from all of our end, like, how you are saving lives, because there is no rule for that. So thank you to all of you.
I would say, I think we should not be thankful to anyone, not even to the blood donor. Reason because I read it somewhere that we all are born because of two people, our parents, and whenever we are going to die, we at least four people are going to come to bury us. And whatever we learn, whatever we earn, whatever we, even the clothes we are wearing, whatever we are talking, it has been given by someone. Somebody taught us something. Somebody gave us. Being a school dropout, somebody gave me an opportunity to work for a corporate in a US publishing firm, or maybe such a large corporate. So actually, we are either consumer or we are giver, right? We have specific role which has been decided by the Almighty, that either you are going to give something or you are. We all are just doing our duty. If you see, we respect army people because of the terrorists. If there is no terrorism or there is no bad element, then we will stop respecting our army people. So I think the dark itself is equally important to give importance to the light. I think that is very important. So I think we all should be thankless to anything which is happening or whatever we are doing, because this is our part of job. I mean, this is this is the job which has been divided, decided by the algorithm, super algorithm somebody have created for the universe. So this is it.
I love the analogy. And yes, I truly believe in it that each one of us has a role to play in somebody or the other aspect. And people come across in our lives. And when that role is done, they go away. And just like you said, so be it thankless, be it thank you to everyone, but what you are doing is just, speechless, which is actually saving lives. And that begins with the awareness. So yes, hats off. Now, Kiran, in this journey, you mentioned, of course, no doubt, practically speaking, even at the beginning, you had a lot of challenges and a lot of maybe great moments as well. What moments do you actually remember, or would you like to share with us, which has truly made, you felt like, yes, this is worth it, and I'm going to never forget this in your entire journey till date?
It's a very difficult question because it happens almost every fortnightly. It happens with me when I got to realize that, oh, this is the thing for which I'm walking all across India. But yes, during my initial days, it was very difficult for me to cope it up, because for first 17, 18 days, I was completely unnoticed, no media coverage, no social media engagement. People were not talking to me because the language problem and all that thing. That was a time when I got to meet one auto wala uncle in I think Calicut, near Calicut, and that auto wala uncle followed me for I think 3 4 kilometers or almost an hour, and he was just giving me company because he knew that I'm all alone on that road, and it was very virgin kind of area. And I because I'm not familiar with Malayali and he was not familiar with English or Hindi, so he just said one very beautiful thing that I lost my son on road when I reached somewhere. So somebody uh, translated it for me, his words. So then I got to know that I lost my son on the road because somebody hit him from the back. And I was just trying to protect you from the back all through this journey. I never wanted to disturb your walk, and I don't know why you are walking. But the only thing why I was saving is because I was just looking my son you. And that was the time I realized that sometimes you don't have any relation with people. Sometimes you don't even have any purpose with anyone. But sometimes for someone, it is very meaningful more than anything in life. And that was the time when I realized that I am walking for those unknown who have got stories or who are connected with the cause. I went to Silvassa. I had an interactive session with 17 villages all together during that panchayat. That's where I had a word. And the very next weekend, I got a call from three boys out of that same village. And interestingly, nobody ever donated blood out of those 17 villages ever. And then on that weekend, I got a call from three young boys that, sir, we donated blood for the very first time in our life. And that was a turning moment for me because, seeing a change by yourself, by your own effort, it gives you, sense of pride. It's just like you are giving birth to being a male, you feel that motherhood kind of thing with your cause. You get to attach that thing, and you get so emotional out of it. In fact, today itself, one guy called Pratap, he was crying because he lost his mother, and his aunt, his Mossy, is still right now going through a painful journey, and he was literally crying over the phone that whatever you are doing is meaningful. His tears are the biggest award for me. Even if I get Nobel tomorrow, nobody is going to come. No Nobel is going to be equally emotional for me that Pratap's tear, or maybe that Autowala uncle, or maybe Silvasa's boys who made a change in their whole society. So sometimes I cannot figure out what movement was the best one, or what movement. I have got thousands of movements, honestly speaking, throughout this journey, ups and downs, all kind of experiences, very bad and worse, and good one as well, and great one as well. Spiritual. You can have so many experiences on the road. I can't even imagine. In 24 hours every day, I'm going through thousands of different experiences and thousands of feelings in a day, and that's what makes any journey beautiful, whatever, even if it's a walk, or maybe if it's a corporate world, or anyone. I mean, even whatever you are doing, or whatever anyone is doing, they have got mix of experiences. Yeah. So I think I'm also one of them.
That's so beautiful. I mean, just like you mentioned, that everybody comes in our life for some or the other reason, which we don't even understand sometimes. And that need not have any connection. So that's amazing, amazing. So, which all states have you covered, and where you are heading? Like, I have heard something really interesting, which I would love to know
Yeah.
from you. So, please
Yeah.
share.
So when I started my walk, then I started from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra, Dadar Nagar, Daman Diu, Gujarat, Telangana, Andhra, Odisha, now West Bengal. So this is my 12th state, and union territory, of course, 2 union territory and 10th state. Uh, I was supposed to walk across Siliguri corridor, but then I got an invitation from one of my friends in Bangladesh, and he invited me to Bangladesh. Now from Kolkata, I'm going to Bangladesh, making this walk an international effort, and hopefully from there I'm going to head towards Myanmar and Bhutan and Nepal as well.
This is amazing. I mean, walk is going international, and this mission is going international as well. And which month, or when did you start from Kerala?
So I started in December 2021, 28 December. It
And
has
by that
been
time, you have already covered so many states already. Oh my God, Kiran, this is mind blowing. This is mind blowing.
and walking on foot is very painful,
Of
especially
course.
today. Yeah, and today it was raining outside in West Bengal, Kolkata, and I was completely wet, so it's not easy to walk.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Like when you are coming from Bangladesh, Myanmar, like every place has its own beauty. I'm sure you are going to
yeah,
love Bhutan and Nepal side as well when you are, in that Himalayan
certainly.
zone. So this is going to be amazing, amazing. Wow. So Kiran, few questions, okay?
Yeah.
Like um I would ask that what is it that you are most afraid of?
Hmm. Very tough question. So one is death, of course. I do fear a lot. Reason because I wanted to die like a very blessed person. So I wanted to earn millions of people in my life, and I wanted to have a huge crowd after my body. And before that, I don't wanted to die. So that's the reason I wanted to die once I achieve at least that kind of benchmark, so that at least thousands and thousands of people are going to follow my body. So that
Let
is
me
the
tell you,
biggest fear.
I have never heard this thing from anybody till date. I want to die as a blessed person. I mean, this is Really beautiful. This is really unique. And this is actually what maybe everyone wants, but nobody can express it so beautifully. So you did it. So yes, you will. You will. There's no.
Yeah,
Okay. So what's that one thing that nobody knows about you?
nobody knows. I I think there are a lot of things. I mean, बहुत सारी चीजें. So yeah, but I can now openly accept that मैंने मंदिरों से पैसे चुराए हैं. I have done bus conductory. I've been a bus conductor as well. I have taken drugs. Of course, it's a very known thing now. I have committed 2 times suicide. This is also well known. So there are many things which usually people don't know, of course. But now I'm very open and very honest to myself, not to others, because people are definitely going to judge me this way or that way. So let them judge. But yes, now I'm quite honest to myself that whatever I am, I have to accept the way I am. Right? I cannot change myself. I cannot change the DNA I've been born with. So I have to deal with it. And whatever I have done, I have either got punishment for that, or maybe I have corrected the things in a better way. I'm not saying that I'm guilt free. Of course, I still live with the guilt, all the things I have done. I'm not saying that I'm doing something good and I should be guilt free. I'm not saying that at all, because you should have the dark side always, which is going to haunt you throughout your life, so that you don't get into those things again. So
Basically,
I want
never forget the mistakes that have given you the biggest life lessons.
the people, even people, when they remember, they don't realize that they can easily get into that trap again. They should always have that fear, or maybe some sort of rigidness from that particular thing, so that that is not going to drive you in that direction again.
Or consciousness not to choose the path the person wants to be. So it's really great to
Exactly.
hear about your self-acceptance. Yes, that's really beautiful. Okay, so next one. If and when you choose to write your amazing throughout life experience in a book, what name would you like to give that?
What name you wanted? Very difficult. I mean, it's a very, very difficult
Exactly. So
question, because
what comes to your mind that needs to be said?
I really don't know. But it's a very complex, because there are millions of thoughts right now going on in my head, just for realizing the name of that thing, and it's very difficult. I mean, I must
But you
accept
understand,
that.
right? So, like somewhere or the other, when you
Mm,
publish it, how it is going to impact people for the better. So
yeah,
that is
yeah.
definitely.
I
So
never
keep that
thought
in
of
mind.
writing a book.
Yeah, so I'm
I'm a
telling you,
very
so keep
bad
that in
writer.
mind. And when you happen to, fix the name or find the name, definitely share with me.
I'm definitely going. In fact, I'm going to do a homework tonight. That even if I die tonight, I don't have to die without having that name in my mind. Of course, I'm
All
definitely
right, this
doing
is
that.
this is great. Okay, so now I have another
Mm.
thing. So you have Simply Blood, okay, and there is another thing which is change with one meal. You
Right.
started this initiatives as well, right?
Yes, I
Yes.
did, and
So
it's
could you
still
just
going
share
on.
a bit about it, what it is, and when did it start?
So just like its name, change with one meal means what change you can bring with one meal. So there was a guy called, I mean, I don't want to name them. So there was a guy, my childhood friend, who was going through a, very painful time. That was a time when he asked me for few rupees. I mean, it was just less than 100 rupees. I thought he was into drugs or something, and I sent one of my common friend कि जा जा भाई check कर क्या क्या हो रहा है. And when he went there and he saw uh, his situation, he said that he was not able to afford salt. Um, so that was the time when I got to realize that how badly this COVID is, hurting people's lives, because he went through all these 6 months without having any job, and he was just earning 7,000, 8,000 rupees a month before COVID. And I decided that I'm going to start serving people food. I started with all the savings me and my wife had, and with that I started serving free of cost meals. But after some time, I saw that people are wasting too much of food because they are taking in excess, and they are just throwing it away next day. So we decided to give ration kits to some meaningful needy people. And when we gave it to them, then after a few weeks, we got to realize that many out of them are selling those ration kits to ration kirana shops back. And that's when we came up with an idea, taking some references of very good social works happening in Delhi NCR. So we decided to start at 10 rupees a meal. And it was a holistic meal where we serve a rice, chapati, one vegetable, and one dal, just to make it a complete meal. And also, we can deliver a very nutritional, hygienic, and complete food to everyone. So that's how we started, and started charging 10 rupees. When that 10 rupees started to came, so it was surplus for me. Out of the blue, we started getting the 10 rupees. So we decided not to do it on roadside, and let's uh, take a showroom. So there was a Royal Enfield showroom. It got vacated a few days back, and it was empty. So we decided to take that same showroom, and we started serving over there. And it was then we saw that people are facing humidity over there, so we kept few ACs as well. And then people were feeling thirsty, so after a few months we kept RO and that cooler. Then because we were creating a lot of pollution by using that reusable, that sorry, plastic plates. So that was the time when we realized that we are spending money every day on those plates. We are creating pollution, and to just dump those plastic plates, we have to spend another set of money. So rather than we integrated our steel plates, and with that, when we introduced it, we gave opportunity to two people to wash them. So we created employment for two people. We made sure that it's hygienic and not creating any environmental problem for anyone. And that's how we kept on evolving and evolving. And now we are serving from starting. We started from with 50 people, and today we are serving more than 1,500 people every day.
Wow. I mean, the walking was not, enough, but this feeding people, the people who actually need it. I mean, this is really amazing, Kiran. You and yeah.
Interestingly, we completed today a change with one meal completed 888 days,
Wow.
888 days, yeah, and
888.
non-stop.
Wow, this is amazing. Congratulations.
And maybe in 2 or 3 days we are going to complete 1 million meals uh,
1 billion
over there.
meals.
Yes.
Hats
Uh,
off.
in
Hats
in
off to you
in
guys.
next, I think 2 3 days we are going to touch the mark.
I'm sure you will also touch 1 billion meals. So no doubt in that. And now coming to one of the most crucial aspect, whether it's about simply blood, right? Blood donation or change with one meal. How can I or how can we, every listener out there who are not a part of it, who are listening to you for the first time, how can they be a part of it and contribute in some way or the other?
So first about change with one meal. Just go out to any social media platform, search for change with one meal, and there are few details mentioned over there. There is a link. You can go out and contribute to that, and you contribute whatever amount you want. Even a single rupee is going to feed someone, um, who's meaningful contribution. Now coming back to the Simply Blood, I don't need any help for Simply Blood because here I'm not trying to promote or trying to brand a product. Rather than, I just request you to end, focus that, imagine this is one problem. Since independence, we have solved only one problem by 100%, and that is pulse polio. Apart from polio, we haven't even solved a single problem after independence, and this is potentially the second problem, and which don't need much of your effort. Only one thing, that we need to have enough blood donors to solve this problem. And with that, nobody is going to sell themselves and get into prostitution to buy blood. Second thing, no kid like Mayank is going to die, uh, you know, like this way. So for me, even if I die today, my message should not die. So if you are hearing me out, just go out anywhere, wherever you are. Doesn't matter even if you are not in India, just go out and start talking. Because when you talk, definitely there must be some people who are going to listen to you. And influencer doesn't mean to have a million follower or something like that. Influencer is a person who can create a change by influencing someone in a very better way. So I request you all that, if you are hearing me out, then go out and talk about the cause. Don't talk about my walk. Don't talk about Kiran Verma. Don't talk about anything else. Just go out and talk that, donate blood. That's it. And if that happens, this ripple effect is going to create a huge impact on whole country. And just 5-6 million people are going to create a benchmark for 1.3 billion people, giving them an opportunity, giving them a hope that their kid is not going to die waiting for blood, just like mine did. My kid is not supposed to die bleeding in front of me or anyone else. And not just but any kid don't deserve that. So for me, this is something which is not keeping me, I'm not able to sleep properly any day, just because there is some pain behind this walk. It's not easy to walk alone, and especially when you are all alone for days or weeks and nobody is there to talk with you. So for me, it's very important to, spread that emotional baggage I'm carrying with me along with my baggage. So just hear me out, and if you think that, I do have a meaningful thing to share, then just share that message with anyone around you and go out and donate blood. Even if you cannot donate blood, just talk about it. That's going to be enough.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also to all the listeners, the links of both the things, the Change with One Meal and Simply Blood, would be here in the description. So go ahead and check it out and spread the awareness. Awareness is the main thing. Just talk, just spread the awareness and nothing else. At least that's the first baby step we can take. So, Kiran, thank you for coming to Intensify Life podcast, and what you, your wife, your son, the entire family is doing. I would say yes, once again, I would say this because a spark happened in your life. You could have easily given up. You gave up in between. You could have stopped there, but you did not. So you guys carried it forward and you already created ripple effect among so many people already. And it is going to just be massive. So this is just the beginning. So thank you so much for coming and sharing the experiences and what we as a human being can do when we come together. So thank you for, intensifying that message so powerfully and walking 21,000 kilometers, and it is going to be more. You're going international as well. So we are with you, Kiran, and thank you. thank you once again to you and your entire family, and lots of love and support. So thank you so much.